May arrived promptly at 9 o'clock the next morning. Oliver was already off to work, and Reg was being dropped off at school by Linda before she went on to her job at the department store. Linda was a sales lady in the lingerie department of the store. She enjoyed her job, being around all that lovely lingerie and feeling especially good about being able to help so many women look and feel sexier with the store's varied selection of lingerie and nightwear. There was even a special section for some of their preferred customers, where more erotic clothing could be found. Back at the house, Linda showed May, once again, the way to her quarters. May thanked her and said that as soon as she put away her clothes, she would change into her uniform and start. Uniform? Asked Ava. Yes, I always wear a uniform when I work, if that's all right with you. May questioned. Oh, I guess so, May. I just never gave a thought that you would be wearing a maid's uniform. Yes, I have a few different uniforms, depending on the job, Please, May, call me Ava, remember? Asked Ava. Oh yes, Ava. It's just a habit. I have had a few employers who were very strict about what I wore and how I performed my duties. That's okay. I guess it does take some getting used to, doesn't it? And you haven't even met my husband or children, yet. I told Oliver that I had hired you and he seemed excited at having you here with us. I'll introduce you to Oliver and the kids when they get home, May. I'll let you change, now. I'll be only a few minutes, Ava. May said as she disappeared into her room. About 10 minutes later, May reappeared wearing her uniform. She was lovely, her uniform smart, pressed and rather skimpy, Ava thought. It was grey with white lace trim. The bodice was cut rather low and the skirt was short. Her nylons encased her shapely legs, and Linda imagined that they were held in place with garters, as they looked so much nicer than pantyhose usually does. She also wore but low ones, about 2-inch heels, Ava guessed. You're lovely, May. Ava said after a minute of silence, but are you going to be able to do your chore in clothes like that? Yes, of course, Ava. I'm very used to wearing this uniform and others I have. My former employers liked the look very much. Does it displease you? No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I rather like the way you look, and I know that Oliver and the kids will, too. They are not for very formal attire around the house. As a matter of fact, I should tell you that our family is rather casual, here at home, and we sometimes might appear as wearing rather skimpy clothes. I hope that doesn't change your mind about working for us, May. May had a slight grin on her face as she said, Oh, no, I don't mind in the least. To be truthful, some of my employers wore very little around the house and it was always fine with me. I am your servant here, and respect what your family wishes. I do try to fit in with whatever the situation may be. Back in Japan, my parents were very open with respect to my brother and me. Linda was pleased to hear that because she did want May to stay and not be frightened off, and by the timid smile on May's face, she could see that she was definitely not shocked. Ava showed May where all the cookware was, cleaning materials in the laundry room, etc. May was only 5 feet minus 2 inches, as compared with Ava's 5 feet minus 10 inches, and she had trouble reaching the cabinets above the washer and dryer where the cleaning supplies were located. Ava said that there was a stepladder in the corner she could use. May retrieved it and climbed up to the second step so that she could open the cabinets and reach the soap, etc. Ava watched as May leaned forward to reach the spray cleaner at the back of the cabinet. May's already short skirt rose higher on her thighs so that Ava could see her bare thighs above the top of her nylons. Ava was right, she did wear nylons and a garter belt, and not pantyhose. May rummaged around longer than necessary in the cabinet, knowing that Ava was probably getting a good view of her thighs, and even possibly of her panties. She smiled to herself, thinking that she was exciting her new employer. I've got it, May said as she stepped down from the ladder, turning towards Ava, to see Ava blushing slightly because of her excitement of seeing her new maid. May's heel caught on the step and she stumbled off the ladder, falling into Ava's arms as she tried to regain her balance. Ava caught May around the waist and pulled her to her body so that May would not fall. They stood there for a second looking into each other's eyes, each sneaking peeks of the lips of the other. Ava's hand slipped lower and grasped May's cheeks, pulling her tighter, feeling May's breasts rubbing against hers. There was no resistance on May's part, so Ava became bolder and lowered her head so that their lips were almost brushing the others. Simultaneously they opened their mouths and kissed, lightly at first, then more aggressively, each finding the other's parted lips with their tongues. Ava felt May's hips grinding against her own. Sliding her hands lower, Ava felt the skin of May's thigh as she slid her hands back up, only this time, below May's short skirt. May let out a low moan as she felt Ava's hands cupping her ass cheeks, squeezing them, her fingernails digging into May's skin, through her panties. They continued to kiss and press against one another until they finally broke off their kiss and Ava took May by the hand and led her into the maid's quarters. She pushed her gently backwards onto the bed, watching as May's breathing became heavier as she raised May's skirt and hooked her fingers into the waistband of those tiny maid's panties. In one, slow motion, Linda slid the down May's legs and over her heels. Ava knelt at the side of the bed and began kissing her way up and down the inside of May's thighs, allowing her tongue to trace the path. She slowly worked her way up to May's trimmed busha. May was already moist from the excitement and lifted her hips to meet Ava's mouth. Ava slid her tongue slowly up the girl's busha to her clit. May's hips bucked as Ava slid her tongue into that sweet busha. May tried her best to grind her cunt against those lips that she wanted so badly. Linda increased the speed of her licking as she felt May shiver. Linda felt May was getting close to coming as she buried her tongue as deep into May as she could, withdrawing it over her swollen clit. Over and over again, until she felt May buck hard against her. May's hands were at the back of her head, clutching Ava's hair and forcing her mouth onto May's cunt as May screamed. "I'm mem." "Yes, yes. Ah." May had 2 more orgasms, as Linda wouldn't take her mouth from her maid's busha, feeling the power she had over May at that moment, making her come again as May pleaded for her to stop. Finally, Linda released May's busha from her lips and they both collapsed from the excitement, May back on the bed and Ava, her head between the legs of this sweet 20-year-old maid. After a while, Ava lifted her head, slid up higher on the bed and lay upon May, her mouth once again finding hers. May could taste her cum on the lips of her employer as they kissed deeply. "May, there will be time for you to repay me many times over. I was afraid I might scare you off, but I couldn't resist making love to you. I think the rest of the family will enjoy having you here, as I do." "I'm sure I will, Ava. This seems like just the kind of family I've been looking for."